Cardinals.
Boy, I really like this one. I'm going to take Arizona and swallow the 3.5 points there at home. The Cardinals have the best point differential in the NFL for a losing team. Their losses were to the Bills and Lions, Super Bowl level teams. Kyler Murray this season's completing almost 69% of his throws. He's got a star receiver. He's got a star back. He's getting decent protection. Washington, it's called regression to the mean. Jaden Williams is completing 80% of his throws. That's coming down. Jaden, they're the only team without a turnover this season. They're going to have one. This is the time to sell on Washington at least a little bit. They're not going to play perfect offensive football, never punt or turn the ball over again. Also, Austin Eckler's banged up, so Jaden may not have a star running back. And the Commanders' defense is arguably the worst in the league. It is atrocious. Arizona is going to eat, swallow the points. I don't even think it'll feel this close. 33-24. Washington offense looks like everybody else's. They'll turn it over, throw in completions, and punt.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So, I like both these teams. I think the Cardinals have actually been playing really well. They had their one game that I don't think they played great, but Kyler Murray has been playing unbelievable, right? He's been playing just awesome ball. So that offense should be legit against the Commanders. And yeah, the Commanders defense is not, it's going to take a minute or two for Dan Quinn to be able to do what he wants to do defensively, quite frankly. So, I'll be curious to see how they slow down and stop, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, if at all. Might just be too tall of a task at this point, in the season, and also just where the Commanders are. I wonder if Cliff Kingsbury will be able to offer any insights, obviously being the head coach of the Cardinals and Kyler Murray, and if he has any insights on any of Kyler Murray's weaknesses or how to slow him down, how to stop him. But also, right, this is also the return of Cliff Kingsbury, right, and being fired and used as a scapegoat, and Kyler Murray really kind of continuing to like pretty much rub dirt on him after he fought, long after he was let go and all of this. And so, Cliff Kingsbury really wants to win this game, and the team wants to win for Cliff. We always see these teams rally behind them, and I compared it kind of to a similar experience, although not exactly, but similar experience to Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions trying to beat Matthew Stafford and the Lions. Obviously, the stakes are much lower considering it's not a playoff game and all of that. But I do think that the Commanders will use that as a little bit of a rallying cry, right? They're going to use the momentum that they had against the Cincinnati Bengals and that big, massive win, and they're just going to be super high on it. And, they're going to try to continue that momentum, and they're going to want to get that win. And I believe that Jane Daniels is probably developing a legitimate relationship with Cliff Kingsbury, and he's going to feel like, I want to win for coach. I want to win for my guy, I want to win for the guy who's helping me achieve my literal dreams in the NFL right now. They're going to want it, and Dan Quinn's going to want it for his guy as well. The Commanders as a whole are going to want this win, so they're going to get their best effort. What does that look like? I really don't know. This is where we find out who the Washington Commanders are right now, quite frankly. This is where we find out who Jaden Daniels is right now. It's not to say if they lose or if they look bad that it means, well, we just found out that they're not actually that good. It's fool's gold, and sell, like kind of Colin is implying. Not the saying Colin is saying that it's fool's gold, but just kind of more like they're not going to be able to continue this. But if they can really, truly, and Jaden continues to step up, because I do believe that this is a big game. I really do, because of all the reasons that I just said. There's going to have a lot more emotion behind it, and this feeling of them already now starting to buy what themselves are selling, right? Because, and I kind of talked about this in the Cincinnati Bengals game, where like you in the beginning of the season, especially with a young team, young quarterback, new coaching staff, you're telling these guys, you're feeding the team a narrative, a story. This is what we're about. This is what we can do. Trust us. When we are together, when we do the things that we work on, we can win games. And beating the Bengals was really the first really true moment of like, see, this is what we can do. This is what we can accomplish. We can win in big moments against legit teams. We don't, I understand the Bengals weren't this like amazing team. They're 0-3, but make no mistake about it, they are not a true 0-3 team. It is still, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and company. So make no mistake about that. So that's where I'm just going to be really curious to see, can the Commanders continue that momentum? I'm predicting that Jaden Daniels will continue to play great, and that this game, unless the defense really struggles to contain Kyler Murray, I think this game will be a lot more closer than people realize. And I think Jayden Daniels will continue to be able to play great. If the game gets out of control because they just can't stop Kyler, because Kyler's just on a heater, because he has been playing like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now, if that continues and the Commanders just don't have the ability to stop it, then I would be more in agreement with Colin. But I would just not be so quick to sell on the Washington Commanders and Jayden Daniels, quite frankly. Do I think that they'll eventually have to punt and Jayden Daniels will throw a bad interception or fumble? Yeah, of course, because that's just football. But I just don't think it's going to maybe be in the way that people are thinking or anticipating. But this is a more important game than I think people are giving credit for. And I really can't wait to see this game, because you guys all know that I'm super high on the Commanders and Jayden Daniels, and I just want to see where the season is continuing to take them, quite frankly. So this is just going to be a really, really fascinating game. And yeah, of course, having Eckler down because of a concussion, I think it is definitely a massive loss, right? You know, Eckler, even though he's a little bit older, he's still the workhorse. And so I don't know enough of what the Commanders will do in that situation, what Cliff Kingsbury will do. Maybe that's enough to make it, too much for them to be able to overcome. I don't know. Or maybe Jayden Daniels' relationship with Zach Ertz is continuing to grow, and Ertz is able to rewind the clock a little bit and continue to be that big tight end target that Jayden can just feed to keep moving the chains, to keep dominating time of possession. Interesting stuff, honestly. This game, you on the surface, unless you're a Commanders fan, you're gonna be like, Commanders versus Cardinals, like, who cares? This game has the potential to be really, really exciting, and I think there's a lot more drama with the Arizona Cardinals and Cliff Kingsbury, and now Cliff's new quarterback with Jayden versus Kyler Murray. Like, it's just this has got way more exciting potential, quite frankly, and way more drama and way more interesting storylines than the Monday Night Football game versus the Bengals. So be on the lookout for this game. This should be a fun one. It really should. And yeah, I'm just anxious for it to come. Honestly, it's the 4:00 game, which I actually like, because then I'll be able to watch it live and more closely. So yeah, I'm excited. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What are you guys all thinking about the Commanders versus the Cardinals? Do you think that this is just going to be too tough for the Commanders to be able to compete with the Cardinals? Agree with what Colin is saying, or do you think that the Commanders will continue to surprise people? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.